kind of amazing how that sense of location sets up that whole energetic awareness.
Yeah.
Like the energetic distance, even though it's only energetic, really, it sets up. Like awareness isn't. There's nothing that's aware of.
No.
There's nothing that's actually like awareness is like almost like is it like a sort of energetic. Like
awareness is a kind of like a knowing of a knowing something, somebody knowing something, or there's somebody that knows about something else. So there's still that subject and object.
Yeah. Separate from something
Yeah.
being like somehow it seems even awareness is like a sort of an energetic sort of distance.
Yeah.
It's like something that's travelling from wherever I am to.
Exactly.
It's like an energetic sort of me there.
Yeah. Yeah. And an investigation. It's always an investigation of
Like it's almost like an energetic sort of moving towards the sort of thing that you're like awareness is a sort of a
yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Amazing how the whole
yeah. Yeah, it's an illusion. It's the whole thing is an illusion. That whole thing is a complete game.
It's like an energetic setup in a way, really, is it?
Yeah, okay, a setup, but who would set it up? I mean, it's just energy.
Yeah.
That seems to do that.
Yeah.
Like there's rain or sun or energy can do anything.
And also sets up the whole time. Just somehow it's nice just to say it as it so sets up that whole timeline, timely.
Yeah.
The whole past, future, timely distance. Someone travelling through time on a journey from somewhere to somewhere else.
Yeah. Called my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all a fantasy. It seems very real, of course, to me, but it's not. In natural reality, there's no such thing as all of that.
Yeah.
Or there's just the appearance of that, should I say? It's just an appearance. It just seems to be what happens in contraction.
And then that timely nature, located nature, hides the sort of timeless, sort of veils it in a way, the timeless.
Yeah.
Like the timely can't sort of can't see the timeless because it's timely itself. It can't sort of.
Yeah, but it's too involved in time. It's too invested in time. Too involved in the whole story of me to notice anything else.
It can't do it because it itself is energetically timely.
Yes.
It's made of time.
Well, I mean, time is just an illusion.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Yeah.
So we are just talking about sort of different apparitions.
Yeah. Like the appearance of a timely existence, like a timely. It's.
Yeah. I mean, it's the appearance of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just talking about different fantasies in a way of me. The contraction of me, it creates those different fantasies. And naturally, completely naturally, it just, time is born, and everything else that associates with that.
Yeah, the initial sort of location seems to give the impression of all these other things in
Yeah.
a way. Sort of, they seem to follow. Well, yeah.
Yes, everything is born out of that contraction in a certain sense. Yeah. Seems to be born out of it, like time, value, placing value on something and not on something else. Hierarchy. All of the things, the rules, all of that. They're all different versions of the me's attempt to sort out chaos.
In the way that it feels separate from it, and it's trying to sort of control it in a way.
Yeah, everything feels threatening.
Yeah.
So everything is a sense. It feels sort of quite like a threat. It's a sense that if something's separate, it's not known. So we've got to make it known. So I've got to investigate it. I've got to understand everything about it, and then it's known. So that's why there's it's something even dark matter or whatever. There's so much there's huge investment actually that goes into investigating what dark matter is. Because it's which essentially is kind of trying to know nothingness, which is a kind of madness, really.
Yeah.
It's just that we don't. It's in a certain sense is that we don't consider any of those fantasies. The me doesn't consider any of those fantasies as being a kind of insanity. It doesn't see that at all. It doesn't see that. It sees no. What me is all about is real. So it can't see outside of that fantasy. That fantasy is everything, as far as me is concerned. It's a bubble.
Like really, that energy is a locked-in energy. It's like a locked-in.
Well, yeah,
or is it?
not, but also not, because it can just fall away at any moment, and also, it's not. It's a state. So it comes. It drifts in and out.
When I say locked in, I mean it's kind of sort of in its own world. It is a world unto itself in a way. A
parent world.
Yeah.
A dream world.
Yes. Yeah.
Or nightmare worlds.
That's more like
More nightmare.
But yet, it's still a fantasy.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. In a way.
This feels like dying in a way, apparently, like death of all the associations from, like whatever it is, like family.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yes. You can't have anything.
You can't. No.
No, you can't take anything
death.
with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think that sometimes then the so-called me tries to can be like scared and tries to hold on even more because it's like
it seems
it can be painful in a way to.
It seems like a threat, but again, I think that there's a lot of fantasy in that about what it's going to mean to. It's almost like you're being told that you have to give up something. It's not that you're told that you're going to give up something. It's actually that the carpet has been pulled out from under the whole damn thing. So it's not anything that is it's not a you'd have to give it me whether it wants to give something up or not.
It just kind of happens apparently by itself.
Apparently seems to fall away. Yeah.
mean, there can just be like a reaction to that, like trying to hold on again.
Yeah,
which is
sure.
kind
No,
of grasping straws.
that definitely seems to go on. I mean, when people listen to this statement, the non-duality statement, or expression, however you want to describe that, it goes sort of one of two ways. Either there's a sort of sense of relaxation that seems to go on, or there's actually an increasing of contraction.
Yeah.
It can actually seem to kind of there can be a real sense of threat.
Yeah.
And
It feels like both. It feels like the contracted energy can all of a sudden be like, but then at the other end it's a calmness at the same time, like it, or a lightness that hasn't. It's kind of both.
No, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this doesn't speak to me at all. Me's not interested. It's not getting anything. This is a starvation of in a certain sense, what the me state is looking for.
Yeah.
So it's unintended starvation, I have to say. It's not. There's no intention in this at all. It's just what seems to be the case is that there's just a start. There's nothing to offer that. And also there's just the energetic body, just the energy in the body, and there's something that, as I said, is that this is known. This is already known, and that aspect feels something which is not about the words being spoken.
Yeah.
One might describe that as a sort of lack of need. This is one of the only sort of situations that you can where you can be in an apparent environment where there is a total lack of need for there to be any kind of anything from me, from you. There's nothing that is required of you at all.
And that's kind of, at the very least, that's extremely rare.
Well, yeah, it's in this world of what's going on. There is always you're always required to be something or
go somewhere or
become,
see, most importantly become,
absolutely,
all mechanisms to confirm the individual, or obviously if someone's
they will all sort of reinforce that, although any kind of reinforcement, I mean, it doesn't matter how much intention there is in reinforcement. There can still just be a complete falling away of me, because the me's got no power. It just imagines that it's in control. There's no control.
There seems to be a real fascination with this infinite running, this real fascination with this infinite.
The infinite.
Yeah. I suppose it's really death. The infinite nature of this is death, really.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Death. Yeah. You can say death. Yeah. Sure.
David, the fact that it's imaginary is becoming increasingly apparent. If there's thoughts going on here, and those thoughts are my reality or what constitutes being a me, then sometimes they're there and sometimes they're not there. So me's sometimes there, me's sometimes not there.
I mean, it's not necessarily thought. Well, I mean, thought is
Thought
just
stream or something.
yeah, thought stream. Yeah, I mean, but there's essentially that thoughts are kind of just they just come and go like clouds. You know, they're not. It's not. It's more to do in a certain sense with the ownership of thought.
Yes.
My thought. This is my thought. This is my. This is mine.
Yeah.
You know.
And I appreciate there's no time, but ownership of thought was much stronger before.
Yeah. There's a So there's can be a softening of this.
Yeah. Sort of kind of loosening.
Sure. For no one, I mean.
Yeah.
And no one doing anything with that. Yeah.
And that's almost kind of beautiful because you couldn't own it, the falling apart process or the softening process.
No.
It's hardly been sort of configured or designed or or instigated by somebody. It's a very natural thing.
It's just natural, and there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no. There's because there's no me. This has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. This is kind of decompression.
Yeah.
Nice.
song.
Yeah.
Go on then.
There will be no answer. Let it be.
Yes. Yes.
This
Hmm.
unassumed tomorrow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assumed tomorrow.
Yeah.
All these feelings,
Yeah.
thinking, understanding is
Yeah.
useless.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then you start analysing, oh, there's relaxation, there's a
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah. It's anything.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's looking for a hunger to be fulfilled, and this is just like zero. It's zeroing everything
Yes.
that's assumed, really, and,
Yes.
or I mean,
Yes. It's exactly. Yeah.
yes,
It is. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. There isn't a.
Like you mentioned, the starvation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is both longed for, and it's only dreaded because there's a belief I am real, and that means annihilation or void, which you can't be known. So
It's unknown. That's
yeah.
what I mean. You know, death is unknowable.
Yes, yeah,
You know,
and
so that's why people
beautiful
are afraid
as well.
of death. Yeah.
The burden of knowing, or the idea that it's real. It is a burden. It's a heaviness, and to me, this sort of takes me back in the past, in childhood, and the burden that parents give.
Yeah.
I didn't know, and I was supposed to know. And what you've got to grow up, like why? It just sort of, it can bring up real anger and rage, and yet it's I don't know. I can only repeat words of non-existent past.
Yeah.
What does it even mean? I can say F.A.,
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's I think it means something until it doesn't.
Mm.
It means it's important until it isn't.
Ah,
And then it's just not important.
yes, yeah.
That's all. That's it. It isn't like that. There's a getting to unimportance
Yes, dropping.
or getting to that. It's just
It
not
doesn't
important.
arise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I mean, for want of a better word, and it's not a very big word because it always does sound like a process, but the energy of seeking drains out of this. There's no more energy for seeking. There's no more. There's a burning out, dissolving, however you want to call it. All of those things sound like processes. They're not processes because there's no time. But the nature of it is that there is a complete ending of the interest in the conversation.
So is that because the solidity of the identification
Yeah.
is also simultaneous?
Exactly, they are the same.
They're the same thing.
The questioning and the energy of the questioning, the energy of the processing, the energy of all of that stuff, of being, becoming, and all of the other things. All of that is one thing. They're all, if you like, you could call them all symptoms of meing. They're all symptoms of that. It's like, you're not going to, what are you going to do? Fix the symptom? You can't do anything like that. So all of these things that we're talking about are symptoms of the me state.
And me can be very symptomatic or symptom response.
Yeah.
very
I'm
much.
very focused in symptoms.
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, it's incredible in a way that everything can feel so real, so solid.
Yeah.
You know, distance, and then to hear that.
This is not important. And none of it is actually the fact that those things are completely unimportant. They're very important to me, though. All of the things that you just mentioned are very important for me, but they're not important outside of that. It's completely irrelevant. It's exactly what I was saying about the child with the toy. That's like distance, time, distance, past, future. There's your toys. Meanwhile, there's a cardboard box that's much more interesting.
Yeah. I mean, these thoughts, you know, these responses just come up now.
Yeah.
And then it's not there.
No.
There's
No.
none of that going on, you know. Just seeing you on a Zoom. Oh, I fancy going, and that's so. It's just like that, and then seemingly being here.
Yeah.
And hearing
Magnets. It's all magnets. It does it all by itself without, and there's no requirement for a me involved. It's all automatic.
Flying magnet theory.
Yeah. It's all,
You know, and I'm a sort of a joke, because there's no time travel, there's no warp speed, there's no speed of light.
No.
It doesn't matter. It's just
No.
yeah.
All of those things are sort of, about travelling,
Distance.
very big
Star Trek.
distances. All of that seeking is it's like seeking to the next level of seeking is, let's go to Mars.
Yeah.
Or you think you're going to find something on there.
Not this. Not this.
Not this, it's somewhere else.
Yes. When you said earlier on, if you ask someone what they want,
Yeah.
not this.
Yeah.
It's got to be
No,
better.
it's on Mars.
Yeah.
So it's definitely on Mars, of course it is.
Yeah.
We can just try this, but it's because we go to Mars.
Yes,
so.
yeah. Carry on.
The number of things that can arise, perhaps even in one individual, let alone whatever, to prove it's all a proving of not this. It's all sort of, this isn't good, so something must be attained.
Yes.
I must move from this point in my life. I must move from where I'm at to another point in life where I'll be.
Yes, where things will be better.
Yeah.
Because no time means death.
Because no tear it means the end of the story of me.
Yeah.
It is a story of me. Yeah, it's not real. It's
But the felt sense of being behind the eyes, contracted and
yeah, but all of that is once again seeking. It's trying to figure it out. It's seeking. It's trying to figure it out. All of that just goes on. It's just symptomatic of the me state.
it's not even worth.
No,
The
all of that,
attention,
everything,
yeah.
all of that, including awareness, consciousness,
Yeah.
and all of the processes that go around all of that, is all once again the same,
That's wonderful.
isn't it?
Oh, it's
Isn't that
wonderful.
fucking amazing?
Oh
I mean,
my
that is
gosh.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
That is it, yeah. That is amazing.
So
And that's why I understand why Jim was laughing all the time. I mean, I do totally understand that. And I understand that reaction.
on Jim Newman.
Well, that's what that's
Yeah.
what you were
Okay.
mentioning. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's what his wife told me.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. This is a story. When I saw him speak in other countries,
Mm-hmm.
he was very different.
Ah.
Yeah.
Very more free and laughing.
Okay.
But he didn't like Austria because it's very
Okay, yeah.
conservative.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
And when we came to the meet, he was always like da 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 da, and we were afraid. There was this fear of asking a question because you really can't. it was just interesting. And I
Yeah.
remember telling Claire about this when I was at Tony Parsons' residential. And she says, "Oh, I wish he would loosen up." And then I told him.
Yes.
And then I changed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But she said, "Oh, I wish he would loosen up."
Yes. Yes.
But he really felt constrict, you know.
Yes. Yes. In their different environments. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it was so noticeable
Mhm.
for me.
Yeah. 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 Yes.
I've noticed that it's different. It's when with an American audience versus us,
Mhm.
us say
Yeah.
here,
Sure.
here, because it's a different
Yeah,
reception.
sure.
It's a
Yeah.
different,
Yeah. It's a different
words
environment.
will be received slightly different.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's no control over. I mean, when there is just what's happening, there's no control over that expression, and so I can understand why it could be. He would be.
It's
It would come out in a different way. Yeah. Yeah.
It's constricted.
David, each physiognomy is quite different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The story of me, the past. So it has always often been pointed that I was very uptight.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
like a very string, high strung,
Yes.
highly strung,
Yes.
and I don't even know it until
Yes.
sometimes like I feel I'm smiling and then realise it's
tense. Yeah.
tense, and then it when
Yes.
it relaxes, I never wasn't even
Yes.
noticed.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's.
And there's still this sort of,
Yes.
you know, maybe it's just the physiognomy of this body. Highly strung.
Yes, certainly can be
Yeah.
like there can be certainly different type of constitutions, and naturally there will be some types
could
of
be.
constitutions which are more active and sort of a little bit tighter, and there'll be other constitutions that are more relaxed,
Relaxed, yeah,
and
yeah,
sort of.
But it could
Yeah.
be fear-based as well.
But well, they sure. I mean, there can always be that sort
Mm.
of. There can be fears and all kinds of things.
Mm.
Yeah.
There can be fears, that's it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So unconditional this.
Yes. Everything's neutral.
It's because it's so drawn in that it's me.
Yeah.
I am the tension. I am responsible. I am
Exactly.
guilty.
Yeah. You're
Oh
guilty.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
All of that is there's
Yeah. But
no control.
it's yeah.
It's like you spoke of unknowing, and the me is about knowing and knowing and knowing and fixing
Yeah,
and seeking
yeah,
and
yeah.
knowing more and
Yeah.
more and more and more. Yeah. So unknowing clearly probably can't be comprehended, let alone
Well, unknowing sounds like a process, but I mean, it's unknowable.
unknowable. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like in a conversation with two people, someone might say, "You
Yeah.
wouldn't understand," and that can be taken patronisingly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
unknowable is utterly you wouldn't
Absolutely.
understand.
Yes. Exactly.
You wouldn't
Yes.
understand.
But
do
no
you?
one understands.
No one
There's,
understands.
and there's not somebody who's an authority on unknowable.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it would be somebody would know unknowable, which
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
you know. That's why this is this is mainly threatening to authority. People that really see that authority is very important. There's authority figures, you know, people that see their sort of their role or whatever it is as being a very important authoritative role.
Mhm.
That that really doesn't like this at all. You know.
And an authoritative role has to have subject-object, of course.
Yeah, it has to be.
Has to be
It
like
feels
solidity.
it feels it's very important.
Yeah.
And what it knows and what its experience and its everything that it, is all very important. It's all about making, being, somebody have. This is the expression of a child.
Yeah. I was just
What authority is that?
Yeah.
A little child, that doesn't know jack shit.
Yeah.
That's the authority we're talking about.
Yeah. Because it almost seemed the little child might, feel forever wrong and looking for that type of thing in an imaginary story.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's this amazing, amazing sort of the arrogance, our kind of arrogance. There's no intention. There's nothing behind that, but there's the set sense of the arrogance of the me that is very that looks at little babies and small children and thinks, well, they don't know anything. I know everything. These little kids, what do they know? There's nothing there that has any idea about anything at all. This is such a superior state being an adult. I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm higher, I'm, whatever. It's all of this kind of way of imagining where there's a sort of sense that somehow that means that there's a higher authority.
Just by virtue of being
yeah,
bigger.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's part of that in a way. That there's this idea that babies and children don't know anything. And it's true, they don't know anything, and that's the beauty of it. That's what then is sort of that's the sort of paradise that seems to be lost.
This sort of, it could be said then that a child and this freedom or whatever can be then very threatening to somebody who needs authority control and doesn't know what to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
absolutely.
My gosh. It
yeah.
reverses.
It reverses. It's a reverse.
Yeah. Because I was going to say, what happens then with trauma if there's, does that also just not come up anymore, or it can come up more?
Like I was saying before, is that some sort of traumas or neurotic
that can be
stress that has been felt can sometimes stay.
Yeah.
It has a sort of like a scarring.
Yes,
You could describe it like a kind of scarring in a way.
But it's reversing, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. It's.
Yes, the parent that's afraid of.
Yeah, the parent's afraid of the child.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I can see all
Let's because it's
frustration and anger and abuse is simply because that fear of the child.
Yeah.
It's almost as if the child is in a degree of unknowability or awe or whatever, and the parent wants to mould it into knowability or education and all the rest of it, and then
and that's the thing that they say, isn't it? That you shouldn't work with animals or children. That's what people say. And it's the funny thing is that those are the two aspects around human beings that actually just have complete anarchy. They're just an expression of complete anarchy.
And are humanising in quality.
Anarchy without a leader. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes. Sorry.
And they're quite those two things are quite humanizing or softening or
Yeah, or they just don't have the same rules. Well, they don't have rules. There's no rules. There's no seeming. They don't. There's no interest in the things that the adult world is based around, which is all about my life and my story.
But then the adult, when he sees a cute little dog or a cat or a baby or a
like
child,
that,
or at university, and adults might be, oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
So there's an
There's
attraction.
recognition.
Yeah.
Sure.
A friend of mine was saying recently that babies are so selfish that they'll cry and they should give, the parents some peace and quiet. I was just like, really? It's just amazing.
But that's
It's shocking.
that's all the time. But I mean and it gets worse later on.
But
Because
how
it
dare
becomes
the baby
more.
be so selfish? It's like, what?
Yeah.
Eating the babies.
Wow.
Yeah.
We were
It's,
talking about babies.
yeah.
The spontaneity of
Yes.
children is amazing.
Yes. All of these things are spontaneous, and spontaneity is not necessarily liked by a society that wants to kind of be in control.
The parents always shushing down, the child.
Yes,
Shh,
yes.
sort of behave,
Yes, yes.
all the time. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Don't scream.
Don't scream.
Yeah.
Don't show any emotions.
You're in my way.
No, I think emotionality, unpredictability, and spontaneity, sometimes they are driven out of the child to create.
Well, it can never be driven out. But what seems to happen is that there can be, as the contraction of me develops in that child, there is a kind of movement into that sort of veiled world, if you like, of being a me with a life that's and I'm responsible. This is about the end of responsibility. All there is what's
Sex Pistols.
happening. What happening? Sorry.
Sex Pistols song is Anarchy. I never thought about it before. We're singing it in the choir at the moment. Anarchy. Means without a leader.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Without a leader, I didn't realise you meant that.
Yeah. Without a monarch, actually. I believe.
Without a monarch.
Without a monarch, yeah. Without a head.
Okay.
Somehow anarchy is taken to mean people killing each other or some sort of chaos.
Well, yes, but I mean that's what that's the belief, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same belief that we were talking about before about death. Oh, if there's no if the me dies, then what's going to happen? The whole thing's it's going to be awful. It's going to be a complete If there's no control, I might just go to the kitchen and get a knife and kill everyone. That's immediately the next thought. Oh, everybody! Why would it be that? Why would it be? Oh, if there is no me, then suddenly there's there's going to be a bloodbath. That's quite a leap. That.
I'm just thinking the next song we're singing is somebody's going to get their head kicked in tonight.
Oh God! Wow.
After Anarchy.
Yeah. Well, Sex Pistols are back. Sex Pistols are back. Is that what you mean? You're talking about anarchy as in punk anarchy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like really is describing the sort of sucking the personal. This isn't a personal appearance. It's completely impersonal.
Yeah.
like what the anarchy is the sucking of the personal energy out of. It's the annihilation of a personal energy. It seems like the personal energy here and everywhere else. Isn't it like
personhood is an illusion.
That somehow this is being guided somehow and sort of orchestrated and sort of
absolutely.
the whole thing is sort of
like
controlled somehow.
Yeah, God. Ultimately, you're
coming
talking
into
about
being,
God.
sort of moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about an overseeing God in a way.
Yeah, like the whole personal energy. That's how it feels to me. Like the whole personal, like that there's something, some entity, or some like spirit, or something up there, sort of watching, or it just seems like it sucks the whole personal energy out of it in that way.
Well, yeah, but what? You're talking about essentially what is a god or a spirit or whatever you want to describe, however you want to describe it. And when immediately you've got a god, you've got God's subjects. So you've got, like you're saying, an overseeing energy. Overseeing what? Exactly. It's separation. So it's not really impersonal. I mean, God is formed by me. The me forms God in its own image.
But what do you mean? Like in a way, the impersonal energy. That I think that's what probably gets a lot of people. Like that somehow that there's a meaning and purpose behind this. That it knows what it's doing. That it's somehow.
It doesn't know
intelligent. That this is going somewhere for a reason.
No. It doesn't know what it is. There's nothing knows what it's doing.
I'm thinking about the God in Christianity. There's the wrath of God, and it's really it's an abuser. Because then you have to work your life to satiate. So it doesn't beat you up or something.
Yes.
You have to work really hard to be good.
Yes.
So it's
a threat.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of child and father to me.
Well, in the me, yes, the meing of.
That's
how father and child.
Yeah, that's the fear and the
Yes, of course.
And the entire thing's a fear-based exercise. It's not sort of
Yeah.
going towards anything wonderful.
Yeah, it's not a nice father.
Yeah.
Like
you're going to burn forever.
Do as you're told.
Otherwise you're going to burn forever.
Yeah. Yes.
What stories?
All stories.
Oh, amazing.
Incredible. I mean, the
Amazing.
stories that have gone on are pretty epic, aren't they?
Yeah.
They keep going.
I mean, life or death.
Well,
Life or death stories.
We just had a new pope. Imagine that. Quite amazing that.
Nice costume.
There's a lovely thing about nothing knows what it's doing. It's almost nothing immediacy. Nothing knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm amused by that.
Okay. Good.
The thing with the sorry, I don't know if you finished, Brendan. The thing with the Pope, it's another authority.
Yeah.
Figure,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
and it's like adults needing to be children.
Yeah.
So they're
Well, yeah.
the need for an adult to be a child, and they give
Authority.
the power.
It just keeps everything in the same. It's just keeping everything in the same loop.
Yeah.
It's what it's. There's a constant. Nobody's doing any of that.
Yeah.
It's just a contraction of the me state that seems to it perpetuates that loop of hierarchy and higher, lower, right, wrong, all of this kind of thing. And you need in that situation, obviously a pope will form as another symptom of the me state. The Pope is a symptom of the me state.
How wonderful.
Very extreme.
What did you say? What did you say? I didn't hear what
Oh,
you
I
said.
said, no, I just saying that the Pope is a symptom of the me
Yes,
state.
yes, yeah.
Of the me state, the Pope. Happiest.
That's another example. I mean, I'm not saying it's just him. I'm just saying it's
I
just
love it.
him.
I think that should be a headline on the Times.
You mean Leo?
Yeah, yes.
Who is it? Theo.
Leo. The
I
14th.
mean, it's not.
Already got a
I
bad.
think we've got a ludicrous name as well.
Yeah.
I think
But
it's so.
everything is not just, I mean, we're not just focusing on poor old Leo. It's just that, it's all of it.
Don't feel too sorry for
This
it.
is the entirety of, we're talking about, the entirety of like,
I know.
human
The needing of
culture.
I do think it's humorous that an American has been elected as Pope, yeah.
Oh, he's American, is he?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Oh,
Oh, it is.
It wasn't.
Sorry, I'm digressing.
Pope is a symptom.
I actually have like that sense of
That's great.
because a friend of mine said to me recently he's kind of interested in what we talk about, but he just rings me and he goes so far a little bit, you know, and it just strikes me that I don't know, just the impersonal energy again. Is it this, like, because he said to me, no, there has to be something else, because we're here, we're people, like, so he more or less said to me, something that is personal, an entity must have made us, and made us for a reason. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's
yeah.
part of the
Yeah.
dream of
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
isn't it? It's just
Yeah.
it's keeping it. It's the story of A plus B equals C.
Yeah.
You know, kind of. It's like it's a logical progression. You know, and I mean, if you know, when we're saying that there's no time,
Yes.
I mean that is quite a different. That is quite different.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm articulating right. When it sort of came over me that this wasn't a personal. There was nothing personal in this. It was quite sort of stark at the time. I remember. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. There's not a person. This is an impersonal sort of appearance. There's no personal entity in here. I can't.
Yes, there's no person. There is no person.
Yeah.
There's no one.
Like personal, I suppose, in another word, is control, authority.
Yes.
Sort of.
Yes.
An overall scheme of things, something sort of running the show,
Yeah.
order, some sort of
It's
guiding, sort of energetic, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's all completely
illusory. It's all as I was saying, a symptom of the me state. It's all an aspect of that me expression. It's all part of the same old.
I love that.
In terms of the message, it's remarkable, isn't it, that 1.4 billion people are Catholics.
Yeah, it's I mean that message is far more interesting to me than what is expressed here.
Yeah.
Of course.
That is an actual message. This is not a message. Because with a message, there's somebody that that is being offered that message, that is receiving that. With here, there isn't anybody that can possibly receive it.
And there's hope, isn't there, in a message?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
So, David,
Hope for the Pope.
Hopefully, yeah.
What did it say?
with that
Hope for
type
the
of
Pope.
message, or any religious message being propagated, that's a kind of a very, say it sarcastically, a very firm guarantee of the me, because there's a lifetime, there is attainment, there is cause and effect, there is good deeds and bad deeds, there is death of
Sure.
the body-based entity,
Yeah.
so it's almost as if
Yeah.
the propagation of religion ignites maintains the solidity of the me.
Well, it seems to be a confirmation of, which is an interesting word without. But it seems to be a confirmation of the
illusion.
of the illusion. But once again, that's got nothing to, this doesn't, just because there is a confirmation and a reinforcement of that, has no bearing on whether that falls away or not.
Say that bit again, please. The last bit, if you can.
It doesn't. Just because there is that confirmation of there being a me, in what you were saying.
Yeah.
There's this constant confirmation of that and reinforcement of that. It doesn't have any bearing on the me falling away or not. It's not. There's no control.
So
you can do whatever you want. There's no the me can do whatever it. Imagine all of these things. It can drive really hard into practicing something, trying to become something, trying to be the best, and all of the rest of it. It can do all of that very intensively, and there can just be a complete falling away.
And conversely, someone might go to every meeting in the world and not fall away. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
There's no control.
Of course.
There's no control.
You could have two twin brothers. One is perpetually reinforcing his me, and one might be going to every meeting for years. Yeah, there's nothing.
It doesn't matter. There's no because what the me is constantly trying to do is figure this out. It's figuring out a method by which it can then attain what it's looking for, and this expression, which is just simply an expressing all there is this. What is being expressed, it cannot be owned or claimed.
The train stops here and it never left.
Right.
The train.
This is totally random, but there's no secrecy in this. No secrecy.
Secret.
Well, I mean, how do you mean no?
I'm just contrasting it with 1.4 billion people.
Mm-hmm.
It's all predicated on secrecy.
Oh, well, secrecy. I mean, secrecy is sort of a quality of something being hidden.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, when you say that, like, are you saying that there's something? What is secret in the church? What are you pointing out that is secret? I mean, those people believe very strongly that what they're doing is righteous.
Well, for example, abuse.
Right. Sure.
It's predicated on secrecy.
But I mean, that isn't the sort of basis of what the church is. It's not.
I've abused children. I'm just contrasting it with. It's just pretty random. It's a pretty random comment. It's just that there's no secrecy in this. There's no secrecy.
Well,
I'm just contrasting.
All there is this.
Yeah.
And this can be in any form.
Exactly.
And whatever form that if there's a form of one imagined me hiding from another imagined me, that seems that can happen.
Okay.
Apparently,
Mm.
There's no. This isn't saying that what you would be pointing out is that somehow this is better.
Ah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Yeah.
So this isn't what is being expressed is not something that is about that. This is neutral. That's a shocker. There's the neutrality of it. The neutrality of it is the kicker.
And secrecy isn't neutral.
Yeah, that's the
secrecy isn't neutral.
No, not no. Well, no. The judgment of secrecy is not neutral.
No.
It isn't about anything.
No,
It's just
no,
empty.
it's
just-
absolutely, yeah.
it's not-
It's not about anything, yeah.
Secrecy is duality. Like if I kept something from you, there has to be a subject-object.
Well, yes,
Of
sure.
course, yeah.
But there can also be like,
And
there can also be a lion hiding around a tree
Mm.
and waiting for the gazelle to come out.
And
I mean, that's a kind of secrecy as well.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not. It's not. It's not a.
It's a natural phenomenon.
Natural secrecy.
Yeah,
Natural
there's-
secrecy.
I mean, if you look at nature, you'll see lots of things that use a lot of, quite,
One didn't tell me
Yeah.
to do.
Entrapment,
complex
killing,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, So there's nothing wrong with any of that. There's nothing right with any of that. There's nothing wrong with any of that.
Mm.
It's just what is.
So everything is as it is. So we've
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
something
that's
going
it,
on
yes.
over there, and then something going on. Someone doing a whole heap of good, and someone doing other things. It's all just going on.
Yes, you're just, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. And it's the judgment that perhaps places a position.
Yes, I
That's
mean
wrong.
judgment is very often about me trying to or deciding that its preferences, the preferences of that body, should be universal. You know, so it's sort of it's a sort of attempt to control everything, and it's also an attempt to make sure that things aren't unknown, that they're control. Yeah, it's control.
Talking about tiger or lion or whatever, I mean, every physical body is born hungry, born with an empty stomach that needs filled for a bit, and then onto your
Yeah.
next meal.
Yeah.
It's and that's just a play of energy,
Yes.
or we don't
Yes.
know.
No, it just seems to be what appears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we're in the information age, is it the age of knowing?
Well, yeah. I mean, well, if you like, yeah. I mean, knowing has been around for quite a while. It seems has been,
Seems
But
to
it-
be on
it-
another level
yeah, it's
now.
going-
It seems to be
it's-
on another level.
Yes.
You mean AI level?
Well, no, even if you don't think AI level, 30 years ago, people weren't all about knowing and constant knowing with a machine.
Well, in the small
machine
village, it's all
level.
gossip, and did
Yeah,
she
the-
do that? Did she do
yeah.
that?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, it's different versions of the same thing. As if all of these things are just different versions of the same thing. I mean, interestingly enough, the people that actually create AI, they don't call it AI.
What do they call it?
Large language models. Yeah, so they're just, in fact, all that they are
Knowledge.
is just absorbers of language. Huge amounts of language and information.
Yeah. So they're not
Which
really
is just not intelligent at all.
It's mathematics.
Memories,
really.
memories.
It is
It's-
in the sense of what intelligent means, which is a kind of spontaneous, immediate expression of some
yeah,
whatever.
something.
This there's no, in AI, the creators of AI don't call it AI.
That's deceptive.
It's not
Well,
intelligence at all.
of course, but a lot of it is a marketing. A lot of marketing.
Because as soon as
LLM, if you large language
So it's a
model.
large dictionary
Yes.
in a way.
Yeah, those, if you look at into AI, the people that are creators of it talk about it in those terms. They're just it's a furthering of what has always been a process of doing the same damn thing, of creating. It's like the Rosetta Stone magnified.
What's the Rosetta Stone? What's that?
Yes.
It's a stone which has got different languages. I can't remember. It's a very
Inscribed?
ancient stone somewhere,
Okay.
and it's inscribed. Yeah, different languages that are saying the same thing. So they're showing that there's different languages basically.
So
and
it's just
it's
large
knowledge.
language models just means that it's utilising what's available.
Everything.
Yeah.
You can put everything into that. You
Yeah.
know, languages, computer languages, language, verbal languages, all kinds of languages. The more languages that you have, the more you can continue to write languages. It's expansion of that.
So it's not artificial and it's not actually intelligent.
Well,
Maybe
it's-
intelligent,
Well,
utilising
huge
prior
data.
information.
It's just a huge database.
database.
Sorry?
It's a huge
Database.
database.
Huge database, yeah.
Yeah. Just a bigger one than we had before, with more sophisticated things to find what to compute information. But ultimately, this is no change. There's no change. This is still the me state, symptom of the
It's a symptom of me.
symptom of the me state. So it's going on and on and on.
Me.
Yeah, it's just going on and on and on, getting more and more
iPhone.
accumulation of mine. This is all mine, my knowledge.
You can't get closer to this.
No,
IT
There we are.
won't get this.
no. Well, it's the same as everything else.
It's this.
Yeah.
But the me loves it.
Hmm?
Well, I mean, the me is constantly agitated by the fact that it can't find what it's looking for. So that's what drives it on. But I wouldn't say that it loves it. That's why when people say, the me is kind of having a whale of a time. It's really enjoying whatever it is. My me state, people say, my me state's really enjoying, and it's kind of like, well, yeah, it's understandable why that is expressed like that, because some things can be more interesting than others, but at the root of it is a sort of agitation, which is that propulsion to find something else that isn't what is. It's a driving onwards, which really does get quite tiresome.
On to the next best.
It's not a process.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. It is. Yeah.
Totally exhausting.
And more exhausting the whole time.
Yeah.
When we were talking about death earlier on, I think when I was a child or teenager, there was the assumption that I would still be alive in the dead body. Like such great imagination, but fear, the idea of being stuck in a dead body.
Sure, yeah.
So.
Well, it can't. Yeah, because that's it, in a way. It's exactly that which creates the mummification of and afterlife and all of that. That's born of the same fears that a child has. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. It's just that they have more money.
Modification.
They're doing cryogenics now, aren't
Yeah, well,
Oh,
there you go.
yes, wow. And uploading. You've got cryogenics, you've got uploading of someone's, they're looking into
Oh yeah, okay. Well, there we go. You can
uploading the
be
database of
uploaded,
me,
sure.
uploading the database of me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
they?
Right.
Are you warming up? Do you want this?
No, I'm cool. No.
Well, yeah, that's how to live forever, isn't it?
Oasis.
The Vikings, they used to put a lot of, you know, like goods of
Treasure,
their
yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
into the afterlife.
Yes,
of
they
them.
are. Yeah, this idea
It's like,
afterlife.
yeah.
Yeah.
The idea of an afterlife seems quite universal, that don't do this, treat the deceased, after 3 days something will rise, the soul's
Right.
going to go to
Yeah.
heaven,
Yeah.
and then
Well, you've got to have something.
something.
The me state has got to have some form of continuousness, of continuation. It cannot be the end. That's just not, that is just sacrilege.
Beyond comprehension.
Yeah.
But at least we've got the Pope though.
He's only been in 2 weeks.
I see, I don't watch the news.
He's in chance.
I mean, authoritarian leaders are really afraid of unconditional freedom, really.
Yeah.
But that is also unconditional freedom. There's tightening
Yeah.
the whatever. Tightening the rules.
It is. It is a form of well, it's energy in that form.
So unconditional.
Energy in that form.
Yeah. Well, meaningless, yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was we're done for the day. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dave.